plant, and it's Nico, he's fooled.
I think the reason why Zipix is so good at clutches is because he just thinks about every small detail in the clutch. It could be like where he plants the bomb, where he knows, like he just thinks in another dimension that a lot of players doesn't do.
The molly burns and he now knows, oh Nico, he tries it but nothing comes through.
It's about having information from your own sound, having the information from your teammates, but it's just about thinking clearly and not being pressured at all.
It just seems like he always knows what decision to make, and it's usually the right one. So it's just something about game sense and how you feel in clutches that makes him a special player.
Finds Crypt. JW's not close enough. JW's watching the right side this time, surely. Not quite. Zipix pulls back against 3-4 in the round.
We have returned, ladies and gentlemen, here. It's Gambit and Astralis for a best-of-3 quarterfinals, and already Gambit picking up the first game on Cash. Now we're going to go into Mirage, and honestly, this has been a very, very entertaining series so far, and it's showing map 2.
Yeah, even just on map 1, that's absolutely intense. And it's crazy to think that Astralis is now facing elimination again. It's that nightmare scenario. This was the grudge match. They wanted to prove the major was just an aberration in their run. And now, I mean, they're got to be backs against the wall. It's the first time we've seen them crack, I feel. Like, you know, like they just looked like they weren't themselves. Scared to make plays, scared to attack the bomb sites properly. That performance out of Gambit is deadly.
It really is, and I mean, they had Sip playing very well and saving a bunch of rounds for them, and it wasn't enough to get them fired up. They had that interesting round from Dupree and Kirby where they sort of prevented the defuse, so there were some things working there, but Gambit just looked like a much better team in this first map.
I think that's the big thing, is we saw Astralis kind of get clicked in and bring it back in that first half, but they cannot allow Gambit to set the tone so clearly and so dominantly in this early stages of that match. Winning pistol, yes, they lost second and Astralis had 3 rounds, but from there it was all Gambit. Winning that 3-on-5, that had to have been so demoralizing for the Astralis guys.
Now, there's always a but, Moses, and it's not what you're thinking. It's the fact that Astralis picked this map, and it was Gambit's map pick, the first one. So we should put a little asterisk next to that win. Not that we want to take anything away, but the second map, surely Astralis are going to be ready.
Surely. Famous last words. Yeah, you'd think so, absolutely. This is, I think was it Thorn that put out that he believes Device to be the best opera on Mirage at the moment? I could be making things up, but I feel like that sounds like a very Duncan thing to say.
So anytime we can make anything up at all about Duncan, I feel like we should.
Yeah,
we should take the opportunity.
He's said a lot of crazy things, hasn't he? But regardless, the cool thing with that is if that is actually going to be the case in this matchup, Mo's going to have a big task. And Mo, I feel like, definitely won that kind of battle because Device seemed skittish on Cash of taking control. He wasn't even necessarily the best op on his team. Dupree had a couple great op rounds. So this is where you really have to say, Device, like, step it up. Get with that AWP. We know they plan a lot around what he wants to do early on in rounds. It's a lot of weight on his shoulders facing elimination now.
What's really interesting is the fact that we were sort of highlighting the fact that Mo wasn't having that many guys, and we were sort of worried about that, and they just made it work anyway. On a map like this, if a lot more, I mean, that could be another factor that can also make it hard for Astralis. So, yeah, I think this is going to be very interesting. I think Astralis win this. Put it like that. I think they're going to win Mirage, but I think it could still be a very interesting game. I just honestly love watching Gambit play right now. They're a fun team.
It is very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's where I think they are going to improve, and this might be a good thing for Astralis, is you take this break and you look at it, and as players, you kind of know when you're not having the tenacity to attack bomb sites, like the proper level of aggression, where maybe players are hanging back a little bit too much. You know what that feeling is like. So, I mean, that's the first thing they saw. They just say, guys, we need to stop being stop being so scared to take bomb sites. And on Mirage, I think we're going to see that pace turned up. I think we're going to see that aggressiveness of the rifles, of guys like Dupree, of guys like Zipix, guys like Glaive, to be able to, in one area, remember, this is a map to a large degree. He's often pretty solo there, so there's an area where they can definitely exploit.
Yes, there is. They are just about to do the knife, I believe, and it's not that far away before we get into the map. There's plenty of fans here for Astralis, and there must be plenty of people being converted slowly to the Gambit side. If they weren't already impressed by the Major, then you definitely should be now, proving that this constellation of players is just a really interesting one. I mean, even, I think Doja had a great game this time as well. How long has Doja been playing Global Offensive? I mean, from the very base of his sort of 1.6, you know, sort of, I guess, legendary status, we were sort of expecting him to be much better in Global Offensive, but I would say for the first very many years, it wasn't very fun to watch, was it?
No, it wasn't. He's had his ups and downs in this game, certainly, but he seems to have found a nice home here. And I mean, you can see as well, like his play style, I mean, part of the reason why it's been so rough at times is that he doesn't seem to have the same aggressive nature. He still seems to have like a lot of 1.6 in him, where he could play the game a little bit slower and play a little bit more passive. But, you know, that actually benefited the side, just, you know, delaying of holding the opponents off as long as possible. I think I'm one of the few people who believe that Gambit could still maintain status in the top 10 after the Zeus departure. And I'm so happy that Fitch is proving to be a good player, because that does, on a certain degree, if you look at Gambit before Zeus joined and where they were at, and then, you know, extrapolate that to his departure now after the major, you could make a pretty good case that they were just going to free fall right out of the top 10.
It's certainly based on the idea that the explosion that happened when Zeus joined and sort of their exponential growth, it could have just gone the other way right away.
It really
you know?
could have. It seems like an insane thing.
We were talking about this during the break, just how crazy is it? Like, if someone had told you beforehand, you know, here's what's going to happen. Zeus is going to join the team, and then he's going to leave, like, not that many months later. Well, not that much time later, but in that sort of, you know, interim when he's there, Adren will pick up a lot of that play style. Like, he'll just learn a lot of the stuff that Zeus was doing, and once he leaves, Adren will be able to maybe not take over to the exact same level, but a level that's good enough that they're still this good. Like, that doesn't happen ever.
And maybe that's the key. Maybe there is a degree of underestimation looking at Gambit of how much Zeus brought to that team. I mean, obviously they learned a lot. They win a major of them. He had great impact for them. He's one of the first in-game leaders that really put him on the map. But the underestimation of what Gambit could do without him now that he's been there for a year. I mean, I think everyone's just kind of surprised at how seamless it's felt watching them move across the map. So props to Gambit. Great calling from Adren and everything. And you know, it doesn't matter so much if he drops off a little bit if you increase the firepower when Fitch comes in, if you have another player in here that can have this kind of impact.
Does it put a new perspective on the whole idea of an in-game leader? Because I think the consensus has been for a while that it's not something you can really teach people a lot. Like, some people just get forced into it, and most of them are not good at it, and a few of them are good at it. And if this is the first, well, one of the cases we have where someone can sort of, you know, teach that trade to other people, that's very exciting. Because there's a desperate lack of in-game leaders in the Counter-Strike world.
Yeah, all over the place, isn't there? I think the key is, it seems like, you know, they're not overcomplicating it, right? They're setting up a lot of defaults, and on the rounds they're not doing defaults. They're pretty grouped up, so they're not trying to do anything super complex on the Gambit side of things, which is quite nice. I think there's a lot of tactics at times that teams try and pull off that seem sometimes just there's too many moving parts to them. Like, this can be a very simple game if you grind it down to just its basics and focus on trading. And right now, those are areas of where Gambit is excelling. And you could even say that Astralis, not that it's a bad thing, they're very effective at it. Their strategies are the ones that have, you know, a little bit of intricacy to them.
Yeah, certainly some of the time, and they weren't able to deploy all of that against Gambit on map 1.
No, and then, you know, remember, think back to that map as well. How many times did we see, I think 2 rounds in a row, that Astralis let the timer run down so low? We can't be seeing that. Those are the warning signs that really kind of scare you at how a team is performing, at what level they're at.
Well, the game is live. We're going to get into it now. Astralis versus Gambit. Map number 2 here are the third quarterfinals at DreamHack Masters, Malmö 2017. And it's Astralis on the T side and Gambit on the CT side. And they are all armored out. Not a single defuse kit here. Adren to try and control the middle. Glaive making some noise, and it's going to be an explosion towards the B side. Glaive just has to stay alive, buy more time. Doja in so much trouble, but what a headshot to take down Dupree. Device with a good return. And again, they have to worry about that top mid. Look at how many people are there just waiting for Glaive as the bomb goes down in B, and it's a 4-on-4.
They were so close to taking Glaive down as well in middle. He's so fortunate to get away. Device extremely low. That's a great shot from Fitch on the retake. Trying to do more, waiting for Glaive, peering up at the windows. And Astralis, they're losing too much, and they're all gone. Jumping shot from Fitch.
That retake looked so easy. It's like they just realized, wait a minute. Glaive is far away. Let's do this.
It's this like holding W strategy. None of them slowing down whatsoever, wasn't it? It was like a very like SWAT retake. Like everyone just wrapping around the bomb site. Everyone taking the same path. One player, you know, just watching bench late for when Device makes his play, but the 3 of them just eliminating everyone systematically. That's beautiful.
Very well done. Very, I would say, sort of obvious strat from Astralis, that you really see what the plan was right from the beginning, especially watching the minimap. And Glaive sort of did his part of it. They needed to get into that bomb site more effectively. Now they're gonna be buying in the next round, so see what happens here. Maybe if they could get the bomb plant, that would be worth something. It isn't easy to do on this map, though.
No, it's really not, especially when Adren's going to play this close. That's where the bomb is. If he can get a double kill with Zipnik, surprises him. Dangerous for Adren, and they might want to go right at him now. They might pick up the pace. They have 2 players on the other side of the map, unfortunately, but they know now that Adren is dinked, that he's very low. I believe the call is he's lit. He's lit.
He's lit. Seems like they're going to be falling back instead. Hobbit and Doja are on that side, and suspect it's going to be very easy for them to hold on to the B-bomb site with the SMGs, but more than that, with that one Molotov that's on Doja. So there's a bit of a slow round here for Astralis. I think they are trying to get the maximum out of every single round, and you sort of have to assume they need that just based on the first map. Fitch picking up a kill and comes charging in. Hobbit goes down, and Mo is next. Careful now, Gambit. This isn't necessary.
No, it's not. They got to remember that Adren is already low. He's basically out of commission in these fights. So Doja is the next one who's in a little bit of danger. And this is gutsy from Adren to get advanced position.
They're going to come charging around the corner. He gets the one. That's not bad at all. It leaves it, lets his teammates know that something is up. Dupree only has a Glock, so it's very hard to get a lot done with this pistol against the armor on the other side. Fitch is dropped low as well. Kiebu, fairly long range, and he doesn't have any armor, so any bullets on him and the fight is going to be up. Doja trying to charge in. The bomb gets planted. But Dupree with the UMP and 3 health, and Doja should have the angle to cover him. No problem at all here. A bit of a scare, but a good round at the end for Astralis. 3 kills at a bomb plant.
Listen, a phenomenal round for what they brought into that. They're going to be so happy. They were going to buy in the next round no matter what. 2 plants, 3 kills in that second round. That's huge for Astralis. So grinding down the economy, it's Gambit. You mentioned that's one of the big things to get Mo to that AWP. You need to have strong money early on to try and build something up, and at least for Gambit, that step 1 has failed here in these first 2 rounds. Now they've got to battle a fully bought Astralis. They have all the utility, all on AK-47s. This is going to be dangerous, and immediately right off the bat, lining up for that A execute.
It is a classic. Fitch is going to have a hard time holding this. I expect if he stays there, they're going to put a Molotov onto that position quickly. Adren trying to charge in. Oh my god! Taking down Sip and Dupree! What a miracle! With a UMP, the spray transfer is godlike, and now Mo is in position and going for the spray, and Fitch is thanking his lucky stars right now that his teammate is up there in the apartments doing all that work with the bomb being down. Fitch will get the kill on 1 and continuing, nearly taking down Device. Hobbit with the spray as well to drop Kiebu. Device in a 1-on-3. I cannot believe it. Device goes down. I need to see that a couple of more. Adren can't believe it either.
No, he has no idea what he's just done. You play that out 100 times, and that's probably the only time this actually gets accomplished. I do not know how he makes this work, how Zipnik doesn't have the kill. And there he is, just styling.
Oh, man. That was probably it. Here's what happens if Adren doesn't get that kill. He dies. They smoke off all the way around Fitch, and he can either leave the bomb site and maybe live, or he can stay and fight and definitely go down, and there's no chance anyone can really help him out, so that's incredible.
Especially knowing that was going to be a buy round, right? Adren had to have known that was coming. So gutsy play yields results.
That first engagement happens at just probably the worst possible time for Adren. He's just not loving it the first time, but...
Nope. I can't even explain how he's done that. That's crazy. Well, regardless, Doja aggressive through the smoke. Maybe Dupree swung out in front of that smoke, but either way, they're getting whittled down. Only Deagles, no real armor. KRB has armor and a CZ, but Fitch just jump spotting. He's got the intel. That's a nice shot, though. I don't think he realizes Zipnix is here. But barring any insanity, it should be a 4-round lead for Gambit.
Oh, but that's a huge kill. KRB could probably get a bomb plant down here. There's no one there to stop him, so... He's not going to save the M4, that's for sure, but that little bomb plant definitely helping out a lot. It's a nicely timed grenade from Mo for the triple. And that's a 4th round for Gambit, as you were pointing out, but this is very interesting. Astralis definitely having a hard time early on.
Okay. I say they should probably wait for the defuse so Hobbit can upgrade that SMG, but they get it in the end. 4-0 now, and I believe now we'll see the op come out. Yes, it's going to be on Mo, likewise on Device. Does this scare you at all, Anders? We mentioned that you can't let him get on top of you this quickly. We mentioned, you know, in the last map, Gambit put Astralis in their place, and if a play like that from Adren, I think if you're Zipnix and Dupree up in those halls, you're just like, oh shit, here we go again.
Listen, I'm not scared at all, Moses. I'm totally fine. There's no problem here.
All right.
Just like with Virtus Pro, got to keep the faith alive. But I am impressed at Gambit. 4-0. Astralis map pick. And that one spray from the UMP on Adren, you're going to see that replayed very, very many times in the future. It's quite something. Aggressive push from Fitch over by the A ramp.
I love it. It's with a pop flash as well.
Yeah.
And yes, there's a lot of utility used by this defense very early on. They're missing a lot of nades, but they've got good intel. That's what's allowing Fitch to play here alone. Mo and Adren have rotated over. They can stack towards the B bomb site. It's all about if Astralis can figure this out before they commit up catwalk.
They've got a lot of mid-control. They've got the time as well. Grenade not really going to do that much to Glaive. Instead, it'll walk them back a bit towards the bomb side. In fact, Hobbit and Doja looks like they want to retake middle. They've got a man in window. Can they crunch Astralis here? The boost comes in. A great spray. A Device very quick with the AWP. Sees a second player. And Doja's going to have to fall back. Adren has gone down in the meantime. It is a 3-on-3. But Astralis are very softened up right now. And the bomb is weirdly stuck in jungle. How did they get it out and get it onto a site without crossing any of these paths? There's also still Fitch towards the CT spawn. And again, he has been the star player up until this point for Gambit. They are going to get the bomb plant down, it seems. And now Astralis have to hold on. Device might have to be the hero. He's in middle. There's a quick trade. Fitch going down. Kirby as well. And Doja and Mo, look at Device. He's got such a good angle here. If he can drop Mo, I mean, that might just be it. He doesn't see anyone yet. They know that he might be there, and they want to lure him in. Sip is still alive as well, so two of the best players here, but Sip goes down, and so does Device. And Gambit gonna win the round just like that. They make it look easy again.
That's so sick. Those two right at the end just realized at a certain point that it's got to be each of us take one of the fights and we've got to win them both. That's quite nice. Mo waiting for the peek from Device. Doja can't win, or Doja does win his battle, but really, again, I can't help but feel like there's some level of indecisiveness right now on Astralis. They missed their smoke timing on catwalk. That smoke is up the whole time, and right when it fades is when they're deciding to try and go up connector, and that's where that presence on catwalk really slowed them down. Damages Device, gets one kill out of it, also delays them. It makes it so difficult. You could see Kirby, I think that's why he goes towards jungle, because he's just saying, I have no cover to make it into the site. So, small mistakes here, yielding big results, at least for Gambit.
It's very interesting. 5 rounds for the Gambit team. They've got the money. Astralis, it's really mostly off of the back that they've got the loss bonus and the bomb plants that they're still able to buy like this. Otherwise, they might be in much more trouble at least.
4 bomb plants out of 5 rounds for Astralis, and they haven't been able to convert any of them. At least one of those wasn't even really close. Doja's under a lot of pressure. That Molotov doing well. Gets mollied out, or gets smoked out. Doja with a good headshot. He's trying to do more, and he does. He controls the spray. A master in his own right, and he's got a couple kills, and he's held him out just long enough for the reinforcements to arrive. Once again, Astralis is found lacking.
So well played. You see the coach behind him there. A little bit tense for a moment, but what a hold that was. Just not able to throw in the right grenades. It's one thing that the smoke and the Molotovs are in, but Doja is unflashed for all of this fight. Yes. There's nothing following it up. No, and you can easily flash that position if you're coming in from the Astralis point of view. So some fundamental Counter-Strike here just being missed a bit.
Even a nade, even just a follow-up nade. I think I actually didn't see his HP, but maybe that would have just done the job and just cleared him out. But phenomenal hold from Doja. We've talked a lot about his defense. He's been playing great. 4 players executing for Astralis towards A. Dupree is going to be a late flank up middle.
Now pushing through the smoke, Adren. Counter grenade coming out. He's going to go down to Glaive. Been a while since we've seen the Tech 9, but this time it does good work. Fitch, though, again, sacrificing himself, staying alive and dropping the bomb, not being planted. Fitch with a headshot to take down Kirby. This is so smart play. Triple for him. That's well worth it.
Just this you know, presence of mind to ignore the fight, ignore the player who's shooting at him. Turning the corner, he knows that Dren was getting aggressive through the smoke. He takes care of Device before he can react, ignoring that player, making sure the bomb doesn't go down. That's such good stuff out of Fitch.
It's shocking, Moses. What are we witnessing? 7-0 in favor of Gambit. Astralis completely struggling now in this first half.
They don't seem to have an answer early on. They even took a timeout a little bit earlier. That didn't yield anything. The crowd's trying to get them back into it as they fire up the Astralis chants. But the crowd can't help you here. Great nade from Hobbit. Caribou down to 52 HP. It's mid-control for Astralis, but they need to find what they can do with it.
Absolute madness. Got plenty of time here. The mid take is on. The presence for Gambit is here, but it's not overwhelming. More the sort of setup you have to maybe snipe a kill or two and then fall back quickly. Gambit giving Astralis some room to work with. Oh, now they're setting up for more of a crunch here. Mo going to be falling all the way back, but Adren and Hobbit could certainly combine for some sort of effect. Not hitting the shot is Device, and he's going to try and see if he can follow it up with a lot of aggression. This is a confident round coming out. Doja taking the fight, a bit dangerous. Does get tagged a bit. Kirby goes down, and Doja's looking for more. A single bullet on Sip would be it, but the timing is so good, and Sip going to get the kill. Mo goes down to Device, and Fitch now. He's been incredible, but I think this is too much of an ask. He's going to get the one on Dupree. And Sip is low, could be a 1v2 if he's quick about it. Flashbang is in, he turns around for it. And now all the way from the middle, Glaive is trying to run in here and get there quickly. Good shot from Device. Astralis win the round. And this time, even I would say, looking slightly more confident in the actual attack onto the bomb site.
Yes, the pinch works out very, very nicely. Doja almost finds that timing onto Zipnix. Great work by Device with the AWP, just kind of playing it in a supporting role. Leading the way initially, trying to find that kill, but once they get into the site, he's just holding everyone's angles. It seemed like Fitch could even do that for a moment, but
yeah,
started to feel it. Now he gets a bit aggressive, and he's going to eat a nade for it. That doesn't do a whole lot of damage at 95, and we've seen Fitch get aggressive through this smoke. He's just waiting now. Easy kill. Goes for a second. Huge. He turns to Palace. That's Mo who's got his back.
Sip will return it, but Sip and Glaive, what do they do from here on out? Good smoke to block off Mo for the moment. Glaive is waiting on the other side. Fitch, just a diamond in the rough, but you see it shining through now. Glaive has got plenty of time to wait. Mo is patient on the other side. And Sip has got 8 health with that bomb. How do you get from this to a bomb plant without losing Sip? That's the problem.
Yeah, no utility, just the Molotov. There's no real good answers. You're going to have to win a battle somewhere. Glaive shoulder peeking, trying to see if he can bait out a shot, find out some information. And Mo just playing a very passive angle. This isn't bad at all. Doja even in CT spawn just looking for info. There's no good answers to that question, Anders. It's, you gotta just at some point go for something and pray it doesn't get punished. And it might. There it is, Hobbit. But the bomb does go down, so Glaive has a chance at a 1-on-3.
They have a smoke on Mo. As soon as Glaive fires this gun, the smoke is going to go up towards Connector. And how is he going to stop the defuse? He's waiting. Glaive. This is the 2000 IQ play. He's trying to see if he can walk in behind. Hasn't got spotted yet. Oh, he fires the gun too soon, but a headshot taking down Mo in the follow-up spray. Dropping Doja. Glaive, he's going to go down. What a play, but not enough time. Hobbit here gonna go for the defuse, and I think he's just managed to do it. He doesn't have a kit, so it's a really long defuse, but ultimately he's gonna have it. Hobbit to save it. That was so close.
That's so intense. What intelligent play from Glaive. Showing us some trigger discipline, waiting. It's so difficult to do. That was a free kill for so long, and he knows he needs more than just one. The timing is awkward, but even just to maintain your composure after missing that initial shot is so nice. And Hobbit, great play, leaping down USP as well. That's sick, and reminiscent as well of a big clutch that Zipnix just barely missed the major on Mirage. Zonic coming in to give us support immediately after, before the next round even begins.
More pressure towards the B-bomb site. Last time they couldn't deal with Doja. Can they do it this time? They desperately needed Astralis. They are at the edge. They're almost broken. They've actually fallen back right away, so they're leaving Device up here. Gambit rotating quite a few people over to support the bomb site, so see what happens now. It's a very confusing round coming out here if you're Gambit.
Yes, but all that pressure, look at this position from Glaive. This is mission accomplished to a certain degree. They've got Glaive in a great spot because if Hobbit tries to get aggressive, if they go back and make a presence mid, and there's some kind of delayed presence on Catwalk from Gambit, Glaive just punishes everyone. And you can see the blue dots on the minimap, they have no idea. They're scrambling across the map trying to figure out where they want to rotate.
One small issue, you still have to deal with Fitch in that bomb site. And that has not been easy up until this point, so don't want to leave it to him. Or Glaive has walked into the B bomb site. He's so deep in, but missing the chance on Doja, who's still out in the open, and he's going to go down. The backup there from Hobbit, going to pick up at least one kill on Dupree. The bomb should be going down here any second. It's 30 of them left, and Adren comes in with a great angle. Mo with a shot on Kebu. Astralis, they get the site and nothing else for it. 9-1, and now the economy for the Danish team is completely exploded.
Yes, that's such a nightmare. They bought into that round as well, and they're almost able to make it work. But again, not even to plant that round. And it's just the follow-ups. They just kind of lose track of where everyone can be. And Gambit were the ones who looked confused early on, but they figured it out really, really quick. And they figured out Astralis here on map 2 as well. A timeout taken by the Danes. Heartbreak again.
I mean, what we're seeing here is definitely Astralis that mentally look not anywhere near as composed as we're used to seeing them. This is the hurdle that they overcame a while ago, so to see them back in this form is definitely a bit interesting.
Especially another situation, you think about it back at the Major, they're the ones who eliminate SK. They got to feel a pretty solid route to the Major finals at that point. Here again, SK was eliminated earlier today. Pretty solid route to the DreamHack Masters Grand Final. But Gambit looks to be putting a stop to them twice.
Very impressive. This Gambit team. Everything seems to be working out for them. It almost feels like you can just leave Fitch alone over here and he's still going to do a good job. This round, no armor or anything, so you sort of expect Gambit to clean this up pretty easily. At 10-1, I mean, if they can make it 10-5, we've got a game on our hands, but I feel like if Gambit get very many more rounds past 10, I don't know what Astralis can do.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot more mistakes to give up, do they? It's going to be dangerous. I'd like to see Astralis maybe in the next round go back towards the A bomb site. I know you've had struggles with it. I know you have the nightmare, the PTSD of Adren pushing into Palace with the UMP. Fitch as well, a couple of rounds playing very well during the executes, but you've got to realize he's playing it passively. He's playing it pretty far back. You should. There's no reason that you can't, in Counter-Strike theory that says you shouldn't be able to plant the bomb if you just do the standard execute.
Hobbit with a fight there. One thing that you have to notice as well is so hard for Astralis to get any duels in middle. That would be the most relaxing round for Astralis if they could just get one good fight where they make it 4-5 and then they sort of make up their minds, and they're just not getting any of that from Gambit. They're just not allowing that fight to ever happen.
And which is kind of funny because Astralis was one of probably the Danish team that kind of invented that kind of idea of controlling middle as CT, was just don't give them anything. Don't try and fight it. Just contain it in mid. And it's being done right back to him. Gambit more than happy to just sit behind these smokes. And perhaps it's just not, I mean, I guess maybe it's Astralis if they're going to be playing this passive, you need to take more with this time that they're giving you.
Looked like Hobbit maybe could have spotted the top of Glaive's face. This time, actually, just now that we're talking about it, it's one of those rounds where Gambit at least are posturing around the middle. If Astralis were a bit more aggressive, maybe they could have found a fight there. There is double presence towards Connector. And Astralis have used some of their grenades, but not all of them. They still got enough for smokes to run onto our site and maybe get the bomb plant down. Well, the bomb, speaking of which, is back in T-spawn again.
Yes, rotating back towards A.
Can anyone flash Adren in? That's the big question.
Fitch only has a Molotov. That's unfortunate. It does come over eventually, but it doesn't blind anyone. A useless flashbang. That's a great opening kill, but there's two players still here, Mo and Fitch, and they are not easy.
Oh, good. Another good flashbang coming through, this time for Astralis, though. Mo will take down Glaive, running back into the fire, and he's going to go down to Sip. Hobbit with a refract quickly. I mean, Gambit, they're replying to every single kill. Almost nothing goes unanswered here for the CT side. The bomb gets down, and Doja gets a headshot on Device, who's standing out in the open. Dupree and Sip If you don't win this, then I'm not sure there's anything left here. Gambit so close to crushing Astralis here in the quarterfinals, and Sip, he's climbing in. He's way out in the open. A huge off angle here. Dupree is gone, and it's all on Sip for an ace clutch. He's going to pick up one. He's got the quad, and Doja's now walking onto the side. Going to tap the bomb. One Sip. He's almost got it. One more bullet, and Doja's gone. Sipnix, he's done it almost all quarterfinals, and Doja has to run away. Sip, he's not going to get the ace, but he seems to be the only one Astralis can rely upon right now.
He really is. Phenomenal round, 4 kills, and just outplaying Doja in the one-on-one, winning a 1-on-2, in fact.
This is a great scenario, isn't it? Like that peak from Adren is, you see how much it matters whether or not you throw your grenades right. Because surely, if that flashbang had been in, Adren could have got the first kill there.
If that flashbang goes down the ramp instead of attempting to go over the wall, that's probably a kill for Adren there. So unfortunate for Gambit. Well, we've seen them do that time and time again where it's actually worked out in their favor. Even if it's not a kill, it's information. So can't blame them for going for it again there. But still, you're exactly right. This is a team. Remember, at the beginning of the year when Astralis was dominant, it seemed a different player at every single tournament was their MVP. They had like 3 different MVPs across 3 or 4 different tournaments. And it seems in this one that the person that's showing up is Zipnix, but everyone else is relatively quiet.
Yeah, there needs to be more out of them. Even those rounds where they have a good start, they've got the entry onto the site, it's such a struggle for them to make it work.
By the way, that timeout that Astralis just took, it was Device who looked like he was doing most of the talking, and a body block on the smoke by Mo allows him to get one onto Glaive, not expecting that to be open.
They're going to re-smoke it, but they're a man down, and they also have a lot of Galils in play. Hobbit sneaking in, crouching in with the AWP, going to take care of Kirby. Gambit strike right back. This is so impressive. There's finally Dupree taking down Doja. I think Dupree's 3rd kill so far in the game. Not quite enough, and he's going to get shot down by Mo anyway.
You said it, that Gambit wasn't giving any fights over to Astralis in mid and perhaps luring them into a false sense of security. This time it's 2 ops. Hobbit on catwalk, Mo in the window, and they give those peaks and they take 2 kills with it. Catching Astralis completely off guard. Huge advantage now. 2 flashbangs, 2 AKs on Device and Zipnix, and you just have to wonder if he has any heroics left.
We must remind you, this is the rematch from the Major where Gambit knocked Astralis out. Surely the Danes were thinking this is time for revenge, and now they might be doubting themselves just a bit. Finch coming in with a great position here. Either way, when they walk onto the site, there's a huge chance they're going to get shot in the back, and he's just waiting for it. Very smart play, and there's the first kill. Sip goes down. Hobbit with the kill on Device. Again, Astralis having their economy reset, and Gambit at 11 rounds.
Fitch is the insurance policy in that round, positioned in Palace. There's nothing that Astralis could do, nothing that Zipnix and Device could do to clear him out of that position. They just had to rely on him making a mistake, and he hasn't made many of those this game. Continuing it, Mo, Fitch, and Hobbit all at 14 kills. A team effort out of Gambit. And Astralis, they're going to buy up some pistols, no armor, no utility behind it, and essentially they're just saying we have to play for a 3rd round.
Pistols all around. A bomb plant right now would go a long way for Astralis. Any little bit, 1 more grenade, all the utility you can get in the 15th round. Hobbit, easy enough cleanup here, and so is the rest. Kirby gets the 1 in return, but it doesn't get them any closer to the goal that they need. Rotation is starting to get a bit closer to the A-bomb site. The money is just not there for the T side right now. Great job on Hobbit here, cleaning up Kirby, drops the bomb in the middle of everything, and Sip, I mean, can dance as much as you want, but Mo not interested in that. 12-2, and the 15th round is coming up. This is something else, isn't it? Now you're starting to wonder what team is left in this tournament that can stop this kind of level from Gambit.
Yeah, this is a beatdown of epic proportions. This is a Gambit team that is surprising everyone. What do you bring to bear if you're Astralis? 2 AKs, a UMP, a CZ, and a Tech 9. They need this. This is such a critical round to just give yourself some breathing room into the second half, and there's the damage. Kirby down to 7, and Adren gets the kill. Mo adds onto it. It's nightmare scenario in the flames. Nothing going right for Astralis. They don't reach Mo. Even though Fitch has finally fallen at that A-bomb site, they've given up so much already.
3 versus 4. At least there's a kill for Device, but deep breath. 1:20 and Hobbit finding Sip. It's just incredible to see Gambit play with this level of focus. They've got the whole map covered, and Dupree and Device are going to go down for a 13-2 first half finish in favor of Gambit. Your major champions, ladies and gentlemen, and here they are. They seem to have almost improved since then. How is that possible?
It seems like they're just at an entirely different level coming out of this break. There is, I mean, you could talk to any former pro player, any probably most of the guys on the desk as well can tell you there is a very weird effect that comes from winning a tournament or starting to do better when you become a team. You play better individually when you start to have the confidence of what you can achieve as a team. And there is this very weird rise that occurs. I know Chad's mentioned it a couple times. There's only so far you can get on your individual skill, and then the rest of it comes from how comfortable you are and how well you play with your teammates.
Listen, social media was pointing out yesterday that Hobbit does have that ring on his finger that sort of, you know, sort of looks like the one ring. And I have to point out, you've got to explain this to me, Moses. He's got the 18-4-4 against Astralis on LAN.
On stage.
Help me out here.
He's just a stud, isn't he? He's been so impressive since he's jumped into this scene, ever since DreamHack winner. And that was kind of like, that was the event, yes.
There it is.
A lot of people don't like playing with jewelry on.
Listen, we have rules against caps. Can we get rules against that? Because I think there's something's got to be up here.
Maybe they just sold their souls.
Listen, if that's the case, it was well worth it.
Yeah,
I said do it again and again. 16th round coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Make a bit of noise. It's 13-2 in favor of Gambit. They are just showing us an incredible level. Astralis, with everything on the line here, this would be a devastating loss, and they have this one half to make right for it. It would be an epic comeback if it happens. They need a strong start, and now the Glocks are getting close on the A-bomb side. Gambit are relentless, charging in, and Kirby hiding in the corner, and they're gonna run him down. Mo with the kill, and Device hiding at the edge, but he can't stop the bomb plant. Glaive has to fall back because they're gonna come for him. 3 players, there's a bit of backup, but now Sip is alone. They're not really playing together. Glaive goes down, Fitch with the double, and Device and Dupree, they've got to be wondering what on earth is going on. The retake is on, but Fitch is alive and well. He's got the USP and looking for headshots. Glaive has taken 1 kill down. And Device looking for a bit more. Sorry, the second kill here. Dupree with a headshot. Suddenly it turns around and now comes Mo. Device looking for more. The defuse happening. Dupree has to come up and he's going to go down. Oh my God, an absolute heartbreak. Mo with a triple. Device trying to save that round for his team. This is going to take a long time to recover from Moses.
He did everything he possibly could.
Their cheeks are going to be sore for months to come.
Oh my God, the swings in that round. It seemed like Gambit had that locked up, no problems, and all of a sudden they lose everybody. And Mo, the bomb's not even planted for him. He's got to run around the box to get those 2 kills. It's going to be a lot of time spent on the sports psychologist couch, I think.
I mean, I can't even imagine. It does hurt to think about, doesn't it? I will give credit to our analysts. They did say it'd be a quicker 2-0.
They did say.
Yeah. Right now they're on point. Yeah. They've got that covered. 14-2. What a performance from Gambit, and they are not done yet. We've got 2 more rounds to cover. You can't even imagine any longer a sequence of events that would bring Astralis back in this game. How many back-to-back aces do you need to make this work now?
No, you really can't. Even if like everything went right for them at this point, surely at some point Gambit just gets a lucky headshot, just wins a round off that. But look how they're playing just so aggressive, so confident. They're not going to let their foot off the pedal at all. This is just full speed ahead. Even though they're all blind, still moving forward as a unit. This is what we didn't see out of Astralis on their own T side. 3 players aggressively attacking these angles. And yes, they're losing, they're whittling down, but they're gaining ground. They're retaking the space of their fallen comrades, and they're going to get into this bomb site with a plant.
Fitch again, the engine, pushing into the site, getting all the openings. He's got the double, he wants the triple. But he's going to get shot down from Dupree. That's A bit of a save of a Doja and Mo. The only downside here to this post plant is the fact that they don't have any grenades. And Astralis obviously gonna gun for it. Even without the defuse kit, let's see what they can show us here. This is a very difficult retake. They're gonna maybe try and tap the bomb once just to force them through the smoke. And Gambit, they're gonna bite. Sip gets one. Doja is gonna go down for the next.
And so it begins.
Every journey, Moses, starts with just one step, right?
Nice round from Astralis. They get bailed out, I think, by salvaging some of the smokes from dead bodies to be able to throw over towards A ramp, over towards that. And I mean, fortunate as well with some kills through the smoke. But if you're Astralis, you're due for a little bit of luck. Fair play. It seems like you haven't got much of it going your way in this match so far, but long way to go. And Gambit, you love to see this. Discipline in terms of the economy, in terms of the purchase. 14-3 up. Don't get into a pattern of force buy. I think they just have some deagles, no armor, a couple flashbangs as well, just maybe to limit their opponent's money building. But this is a good call, and even, you know, cheeky T-spawn timeout.
Why not? Astralis, you know, just if they got any kind of momentum built from that last round, just make sure this round is as long as possible, that it sort of wears off by the time you get the rifles again. And
if they learn anything from Zeus, it's, you know, take these rounds slow and deliver an epic Hollywood-level motivational speech.
That's exactly right. But you're right. Saving so that they can get the full rifles, something we like to see. Sip and Dupree doing a reasonable job here, although the flashbangs are a bit annoying. They should be able to hold on to it here. And that's not bad at all. 14-4. Give me a gut feeling, Moses. I mean, for one thing, I would love to see Chat's face if this goes to 3 maps. That would be the highlight for me.
I think everyone wins if this goes to overtime, right?
Yes. But especially Chat. Round number 19. And a solid 10-round gap as Gambit are back on the rifles. And let's see how far they can push this. They just need 2 rounds and they will move to the semifinals. Kirby, though, doing a good job in taking down Mo, and confidence play from Astralis. We've not seen that for a while.
Yes, this is great. This is what you need if you do want to make this comeback. Because as likely as it seems, you need to still be willing to take the initiative. And at this point, it might even just be easier for Astralis. We'll probably see this more frequently because it's backs against the wall. It's that cliche. You literally have nothing to lose. If you don't do it, you will definitely lose. And there's a stunning shot from Glaive. Crowd's getting into it as well. A clean sweep. The second stage to making a comeback of this proportion. Oh my god.
Wow.
I was gonna say second stage is building your economy, and Fitch is trying to prevent that from occurring.
Oh, you wish he had 100 health and a bit more time. Well, 50 seconds is enough, but then just the health. I want to see Fitch go straight at it for a 1 versus 5 here. Mid-air jump, and Kirby goes down.
Why?
This isn't the circus, Kirby. Just everyone calm down for a minute. Triple on Fitch, and obviously at this point, Dupree and Sip are just going to be talking to each other, making sure this doesn't go wrong.
I honestly can't come up with a good reason why that jump is necessary. I'm assuming maybe he's saying, I'm going to jump to lure him out, and you peek, and just the peek never came, so he was just left high and dry to look silly. But even that just seems crazy.
I think it's more of, check this out, guys. Hold my beer and let me just make this jump. Fitch goes down eventually, which is, I suppose, good news.
Yeah.
But they did not have to lose 3 rifles there.
No.
I love the Astralis cheering section, and I mean, they've got to be very loud to bring their team back into this. 14-5, and moving into the 20th round. Gambit's economy, not that great.
That was a pretty good backflip now that I take a look at it.
It was. Maybe if it had brought a skateboard, it could have landed on it. Could have done a little bit.
10 points.
That would have been worth it.
Yeah. Well, long range Glaive. He's got backup in the underpass as well, coming back, and he's got Dupree on catwalk, so not too much danger. But again, it's all about not losing a lot of guns. They've lost 2. It's not bad, not ideal, obviously, but 6-14. And Astralis still, even with some of those lost weapons, plenty of money to switch and do a double-up setup. I
mean, essentially, they just need enough rifles for a second buy Astralis, because after that, it's meaningless, yeah, right? They would have lost the game, so... Double AWP, one of them on Dupree. This seemed to work very well on Cash.
I was going to say, this would have been one of the few strategies that we've seen work for them over the course of this series.
The gap has shrunk a tiny bit. Still so much left. And there is a tradition in Counter-Strike that says the hard part is getting all the way to 14-14, and then it becomes mega hard. Like the last 2 rounds there are almost impossible to win, right?
Yes, for some reason it is very, very odd. And there's a nice shot from Dupree. Astralis starting to heat up.
Oh, you hear the fans are here. They're ready. Dupree winning the fight against Mo is a good sign. More than a minute left, and Fitch again with the opening. Who is this guy, and where did he come from? How is he so good? Trying to see if he can make it on up the stairwell, and looking for the entry on the side. Doja taking down Glaive, and Fitch has no fear at all. He's looking everywhere for the next kill. Still 45 seconds left. Kirby goes down. Doja with a headshot. And Dupree and Sip wondering why is it gone wrong. Hobbit chasing down. Doja's been dropped by Sip, but there's still 30 seconds. And Sipnik's 1 versus 2, trying to fall back from that incredible flashbang. And that's a bomb plant. And now he's trapped. He's being shot in the back, and Hobbit gonna get the kill eventually for 15 rounds here. Match and map point for Gambit.
The opening is stellar from Fitch, obviously, but the 2 kills from Doja towards CT spawn, those are great. Phenomenal timing, and he's been doing it both maps for this team, just lurking, waiting patiently, and then biding his time and finding the right opening. You can even see Hobbit, like something that makes him so dangerous is that sense. When he's chasing down Dupree, he doesn't get the kill immediately, but he doesn't just chase the opper down. He knows there's gonna be a second shot to follow up. He sidesteps it and then completes the kill afterwards. Tough battle for Device. He's naded down to 45, and he's lucky that he's still got that.
Completely denied any kind of mid-presence here. They've got some looking towards underpass of Kirby, and that's a pretty good grenade. But they need to win 9 consecutive rounds to force overtime and then win the overtime. That's a pretty big task ahead of them, and that's very close from Dupree with the deagle. Would have been a nice kill to find. Almost got the one on Hobbit there.
This is where you look at the money and you really wish they hadn't lost 3 players in that other round.
Don't, Moses, why are you
I've got to go back.
Bringing it up?
I have to do it. It could even just be 1 more M4 on Kirby or Dupree.
Oh, God. If they hadn't been skateboarding in the middle of the round, who knows?
Playing parkour.
Well, Gambit have got just an unreal level of focus in this game. Every time they need it to, they save, and when they buy, they get just the maximum result out of every single round. I'm beyond impressed at this point. Now we'll see if Astralis can hold on. Kirby seeing the shadow. That's going to be a good kill. And almost a follow-up on Fitch, who has to be the player to kill right now. He's a force of nature looking for the kill. Gets the headshot on Dupree. And Sip is the last man standing. Running in towards the A-bomb site with a M4, no kit. How do you do this? He can spend all day looking for them. They never have to fight him.
He needs to let go of the walkie, but he needs to get a kill first, and there it is. Anyone you want in this situation for Astralis, it's Zipnik's.
Gets one. Has to walk in. Bit of a spray through the box. Goes for the peek against Finch, but there it is. Fittingly gets the kill, and they get knocked out by Gambit. 16-6. Finch ending up at 26-12. An absolutely historic performance here from Gambit and from Fitch as well. I just cannot believe it.
What a growth from this guy that we've seen over the course of this tournament. Now back-to-back events in a row where Astralis has been knocked out by Gambit. We saw that Kryptonite match earlier between G2 and SK. This one is forming to be something similar.
This level was so incredibly high. The level of, the focus and just the, as you said, the strategies being kept to a level that everyone could sort of, there was never anything that went wrong for Gambit as they executed their stuff.
Yeah.
And the number of entries, someone has to go and get the stats on this from Fitch.
Yeah, he was great on both maps, wasn't he? He was absolutely stellar, but not just those entries, it's the fact that they have 3-4 players going at the bomb site. They just have everyone with that single-minded goal of taking over the site, and it looks so good.
This has got to be an inspirational story for anyone out there thinking that, do I want to get into Counter-Strike? Maybe I should do it. I don't have a big name, but can I get to the top and play? You get these players who just come out of nowhere, and then they're this good. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one more idea that even if you come from a region that doesn't have a great base of Counter-Strike, there are ways of making yourself good, talented, professional.
Yeah, so impressed. We do have Adren down on that main stage, ready for an interview, and I'm excited. What an incredible performance! Take it away, please.
Adrian, this is the first time your lineup is playing at a LAN event. First time and already in the top 4, taking down Astralis. How happy is the team right now?
Feels good. I don't know. It's so important for us. This win is so big for us. So thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Credit where credit is due, because you had such a dominant performance in that series. I want to talk about Mirage, because Mirage is a map that Gambit typically doesn't play very much. So did you prepare for it knowing that the pick would be Mirage?
Actually, we didn't play much Mirage, but I feel that everyone in our team is feeling this map. We got this feeling, and we just did what we have to do, and we just played our game, and everything worked.
And can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because this is Fitch's first big event of this stature. How is he performing so well? How are you guys able to gel together so well?
I don't know. He's doing great. I'm just so surprised. Yeah, sometimes he gets maybe nervous, but he needs time to improve, and I think he's doing great, yeah, really.
Well, in your next match, it'll be one of 2 teams. It could be the Immortals, where it'll be a rematch of the major grand finals, or on the flip side, we have North, who's looking really dominant after they took down SK. So who do you want to face?
I don't know. I can't talk much, so let's see. Let's see what happens.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Congratulations again. And in the Battle of the Stars, it looks like Gambit comes out on top as they move on to the semifinal.
Yes, indeed. Gambit have done it. What a blast from the past. They've done it not once, but twice, and with a change of guard. New blood Fitch stepping up to the plate. And bye-bye Zeus. He managed to do it without the in-game leadership of him. There is so much to be discussed here, as Astralis' opportunity for revenge is dashed in just 2 maps, the first 2 maps we've seen today, everything else being a bit of a blockbuster. In fact, if I asked you which one's going to 3, this may very well have been the series that you would have dubbed to go all the way through, almost guaranteed. Well,
especially with them picking up that first map, right? We all said it was going to be 2-0s basically on this desk. You wouldn't be, couldn't blame you for thinking the sky was falling in this call on Alex here, but it's the stars that have fallen, and Astralis going out once again. Gambit extinguishing them from another tournament.
Wow.
And it's just fantastic to see this lineup actually playing a brand of Counter-Strike that is just heads up. They're proactive and not reactive, and that's what I really like from this Gambit team.
And what is so fantastic that we have to discuss is just simply the fact that you saw Adren in that interview. You see that there was a little bit of a twinkle in his eye, and he's done it. Not only has he beaten Astralis in 2, but he's also proven to a lot of people, including probably himself and his team, that, they're not gone and out, they're not down and out, because we always pointed a lot of credit towards their success to, what Zeus had done with the team. They've shown that, yes, he's left a lasting impact, but also they can do it without him, and they're in the semi-finals.
Yeah, and again, that requires a huge amount of credit to Adren, the fact that he's able to adapt in such a quick manner and actually have the guys believing in what he's able to do when he says that he's going to take over the in-game leading part and have everybody follow him kind of into the fire. And even when he says, and he admits, like he did on their nuke game yesterday, the fact that I'm not really sure what to do, so just kind of go off of what you feel like, and they're willing to actually step forward and do their own thing. For Astralis, it kind of seemed to me, especially on Cash, like this is a scenario of once burnt, twice shy, because a lot of the executions we saw there on Cash, a lot of the ways they progressed around the map, especially on their T side, seemed very timid. A lot of the times you saw the clock running down way more than what I'm used to seeing Astralis do. It sounded like the pace of the game was just very, very slow, and it got into very hectic situations that Gambit time and time again came through in the clutch. And obviously that's some of the margins obviously going to the Gambit side, but you're not putting yourself in an excellent position to succeed if you're Astralis doing that time and time again.
Absolutely. Now, Yanko, I'll let you go ahead and educate us on what was going down in your eyes over at your magical screen.
Yeah, I think the main reason why Gambit was able to overcome Astralis is because they played against them in a way you basically need to play versus Astralis, right? We always say how they're a very good team at having a default, getting map control, and then finishing rounds. And what Gambit did was they tried to disrupt them in every way possible. They did it on Cash with Fitch pushing main, then being aggressive at times towards the B bomb site as well with the AWP, and that really worked wonders for them. We saw how Astralis was struggling to finish those rounds properly. This is the first gun round from Mirage. This is what set the tone for the whole thing. Astralis managing to get 2 bomb plants. in the 2-round losses, but Adren, who has a UMP saved, plays close up. They get also the tell from Mo here. There's only a smoke, actually 2 smokes, but not much noise. There's not a Molotov in connector. You can see Hobbit preemptively throwing his own nades, and Adren, just as the execute comes in, pushes, gets 2 amazing kills, drops the bomb as well, gets the upgrade towards the AK, and this is where the round is pretty much over for Astralis. Another example, just after Astralis won their first gun round, what happens? Again, Fitch playing close up here, knowing that Astralis likes to run a execute heavy style on Mirage. He will as well get 2 very important kills, shut down this explosive play from Astralis, who wanted to change the pace. And Astralis really did try a number of different things to break this defense from Gambit. We saw a quick B execute as well from them, but that time around it was actually Dosha who was able to have an amazing hold pretty much towards the B bomb site. So all of the players from Gambit were really delivering in their roles, and I think they had a lot of confidence simply from the fact that they don't play Mirage as much. So it was just like, listen, we need to take risks here if we're going to have any chance of winning this map. They did take them, they had good reads, it paid off, and they were just stomping Astralis all the way through.
A stomping 2-0, and if you remind yourselves that this was not the first win they picked up in a best of 3. They've also got FaZe under their belt. Quite, huge scalps to be taking in an offline environment so soon after making a unknown player addition. And now talking about unknown player, we actually can learn a bit more about him now, because your Strafe player of the match is standing by with Stunner. Let's see what Fitch has to say.
That's right. I'm standing here with Fitch, the legend himself. Now, Fitch, your team's coming fresh off a major championship right into a roster change, and that being you. How does it feel playing alongside these guys?
So I'm feeling good right now because my team just bring me to the playoffs, and I'm really glad to join them because they are really crazy guys. I love them all. And right now it's like, I'm so happy actually. So it's really hard to play against the Astralis because it's like the top team, the best team. And it just happened, I don't know, like I have no words right now to explain you guys what I'm feeling right now. So it's cool, everything.
It's a hardcore emotion, to say the least. Looking at this, though, you guys bested Mouse and FaZe in the groups, okay? And then you're going to go on, obviously, you've just played Astralis. Walk me through the preparation for that matchup.
So we just watched the games that Astralis played before, like 2 or 3 demos, I'm not sure. And Adren tell us, like, guys, just chill, don't worry, just play your game, just look forward, don't scare, show what you got, and we're just gonna win this. So it's done.
So looking at Mirage on your CT side, you guys came alive. Doja comes alive. The ex-god himself. What's it like playing alongside a man such as that?
So we just was playing Cash. Doja said, like, guys, if we will win Cash, I'm just gonna get him like on Mirage. So I will wake up and I'll get them all. So ex-god just did it.
The ex-god just did it. Imagine that. Check it out. All right, so you've got North and Immortals about to face off in the next quarter. Who do you want to see in the semis?
I just want to play with against Immortals because it's going to be like some historical thing. I don't know. Because I was not in team when they just played final and major, so I just want to try again, like, with me.
Yeah, leave your mark, huh? Well, that does it for us here. Thanks, Fitch. Appreciate your time. I'm going to throw it back over to Alex.
His first event with the team, and he's picking up an MVP star. Not the ones in game this time, it's the one on the stage. And a spectacular performance from him across the 2 maps and across the tournament so far. You can see just some of those tidbits of fantastic play we got to see, and a little bit of filth as well from Fitch.
I think these highlights kind of speak for themselves, Alex. I want to get on a bit of a negative train. You know I love to be there from time to time. I think that Gambit played a very proactive style of Counter-Strike, whereas Astralis and SK to alike have been playing reactive styles of Counter-Strike for some time now. I've been expecting them to come in with game plans, and I've always praised them for being fantastic with their fundamentals, understanding of mid-round theory and how to react. And now, like Astralis and SK, it's not that they're getting found out. I still think they're 2 of the best teams in the world, but I think they're resting on their laurels to some degree. They're opting to play a game where, hey, we can can adjust on the fly, we can always adapt, and we can then win the games from there. But I'm not seeing that anymore. I think these two teams need to start playing with more of a game plan. They need to impose their will because they have some of the best players in the game. We've got like the Device, Coldzera, Fur, Dupree, these kind of guys, and they're not being utilized in a way that I would like to see it. I need them to be playing a confident style, and this is probably a little bit too harsh, but it looks like they're playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And when you're playing reactive, you're always on the back foot, right? You're like, great, they can adjust. It's fantastic. That's something you have to be able to have in your arsenal. But come into like these kind of matchups with your own game plan that your players are happy, they're keen to run, and then you can get your momentum started and then adjust as the game progresses.
We've got so many good teams in this tournament, and you've listed the two that have been knocked out already. I mean, SK, Astralis, everyone expects to see them in the grand final, or at least close to it. And I think surely, however, this is testament that the gap between all of these teams is it's almost insurmountable at this point in time. It's just tiny.
Yeah, it's shrinking. It's shrinking. And I also love the kind of the mentality that Fitch comes into. You know, his debut at an international event, but he still just kind of wants to take the hardest ride in that sense. You know, or kind of just relive the route that Gambit took to the major championship, right? Just to kind of showcase.
Astralis, yeah,
exactly. Just kind of showcase. You know, yeah, they did it with Suze. We've seen that, but we can also do it with me. That's a kind of a very refreshing approach to have as a completely fresh player on the scene in that sense.
Yeah, and I think closing thoughts then are gifted to you, Janko. I mean, I think maybe you want to jump on Chad's Astralis criticisms?
To an extent, I don't think I think they had a clear game plan for Mirage. I just think that whatever they tried, Gambit was ready for it. You know, with aggression, you can argue that it was a bit unlucky the way that Gambit could get those reads, but I think they made a mistake in the veto. I don't think they should have went for Mirage. I think they should have definitely went for Nuke as their own pick. But the way Gambit has been playing, I don't know if it would have changed much in the grand scheme of things.
You're quite the convert. I mean, you seem to be quite a firm believer in Gambit after watching them play, especially this best of three. Fully on the hype train?
Absolutely. I've been a fan of Gambit for some time now, but obviously them losing their in-game leader, you're wondering, okay, but will they be still able to play the same style on the same level? And also Fitch has been an unknown how good he is. Now we see that he's pretty damn good. So if Adren can continue with the calls and if Fitch can keep delivering on the server, Gambit is definitely here to stay.
Here to stay, and we'll leave it there. Your Kazakhstani Kings will be in the semi-final tomorrow, and they'll be meeting either Immortals or North. We have to find out who the hell that is first of all, and that's the game to go down next. The Danes are going to go ahead and try and do what Astralis couldn't as they meet Immortals in a best of three. That is the one game we have left this evening, so go ahead and take a break with us, because when we do return, we have got that best of three to dig our teeth into. Will it be Lion's Teeth, or will it be that of a Spartan from Immortals and North? For now, though, we're going to take a break, and for you to go ahead and quickly check out none other than Sliver, one of the ones who are sponsoring this tournament. Outside of all of that, guys, I've just remembered, and I want to make sure you guys are aware, quick restart of the stream. Don't panic if it goes offline. We're coming back. Don't chill. Don't spam your APPAs, whatever that means. And we're going to be right back with more Counter-Strike.